Okay, so we met a new friend literally as he was drowning next to our boat. And without asking his name, we decided that he should belong to us and work with us, despite the fact that he's definitely a child. But
OSHA
ignoring
doesn't
that-
exist.
To be fair, Sunny and Missy are also children.
Are they?
Who?
Yeah, dude. Sunny and Missy. Okay.
You act like we pay attention to this nonsense.
I'm doing my job. That's all I can say.
So then we set sail towards the lizard folk. We somewhat found them and then went to a meeting place and were attacked by 1,000 frogs. Bullymongs, rather. And then one of them was riding a constrictor snake, even though it looked like a big frog.
No one
then-
gets that
Not
joke.
Bullymong.
Bullywug also, yes.
And then I
Hopefully
passed
on-
out, allowing us to actually finish the fight.
Did you go down? I
And-
don't think you did.
No, I went down for a second.
Nah, yeah.
And then, yeah, that's where we are. We defeated them all.
Yep. Okay. So you guys are standing amid the corpses of so many frogs, frog folk. Is there anything you do in the meantime, like immediately following this?
Do they have anything I would find interesting?
Roll an investigation check.
5.
Woohoo. No.
Good start.
Yeah, unfortunately, there doesn't appear to be anything interesting. They have their rather cheaply made weapons, and the king. Well, I mean, you might actually find that interesting. You saw him blowing a horn made out of wood that was completely like waterlogged and didn't work.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right. Okay. Oh, ow. Okay. All right. Do you choose to take a short rest, or what do you do at this point?
Short rest would be.
Short rest, please.
appreciated.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'll get your wild chicks back.
I'm weak.
Okay. You all set up some system of a resting cycle. Up to you whether or not you decide to sit during that time. It is a bog. But during the short rest, maybe 20 minutes in, there is figures walking towards you. 3 tall figures, all over 6 feet. And as they get closer, it becomes very apparent that they are more of the lizard folk. Hard to tell if it's the same ones who greeted you at the cave entrance. Certainly wouldn't assume that they are the ones who you have met on the Ghost of the Sea.
The only one I would recognize would be the one that has the pseudo dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to stay out of sight as much as possible.
Okay. Do you try to hide?
I want to go with yes.
Okay. Why don't you roll me a stealth check?
Sure. Oh, fuck this.
Beautiful.
9.
Okay. Anyway, these 3 approach and see the absolute decimation that is a clan of bullywugs, and seem very
We made
surprised.
0 attempt to move away from the corpses. We're just kind of chilling amongst all the dead bodies.
Oh,
Y-
Grainar is probably using one of them as a fucking bench right now. So
Oh, God.
I mean, most of us are pretty fucked up. I don't think we're really in the position to be moving them around.
I'm licking
Exactly.
my
We're
leg.
just surrounded by like 20 bodies.
Yeah,
I-
that's
very much the scene from Helm's Deep is what I'm imagining. Or sorry, Minas Tirith. It's just the fucking Gimli sitting on top of a pile of dead Uruk-hai.
And all I can think of is, man, if Iliander could see this.
Excuse you, his name is Daddy Eli.
I agree.
No,
To certain of you, sure.
do not call him that.
Abso-fucking-lutely not. That is his official name now.
Anyway,
All of you.
one of the lizard folk who is particularly brightly painted and colored, scales are vividly marked, but also come in a naturally bright hue, stands in front of the others and indicates this one appears to have a loose grasp on common, and says, name is Kabesk, and you have come to see the queen.
Zashel will very slowly and painfully stand up. Yes. I am Zashel. These are my companions, Rakaris, Yop, Dasani, Greinar, and Yumi. Is there a safe place we could rest for a moment?
He looks around at all of you and then looks at the horizons to his left and right and says, yes, but you cannot see.
Blindfolds. It's wonderful.
Is this all right with all of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose it has to be.
Could we
Yes.
finish our rest first before we have to move out? We're a little tired.
I'd kind of rather be in the cave, in all honesty. If they were gonna kill us, they'd already do it. It doesn't really matter. Let's just get inside.
I suppose Greinar has a pretty solid point.
Okay. A few of them, the two others, go to the bullywugs and start stripping them of materials and of the things that they pull, fabrics and other loose pieces of leather and things they hand to you to cover your faces with.
What do I have in my bag?
Brinar, not giving half a fuck, complies.
Okay.
Yop pulls her hat down over her eyes.
One of the lizard folk waves a hand in front of Yop's face to make sure she can't see.
Well, Yop doesn't react whether she can see or not.
To see or not to see?
Is anyone doing anything special in that they are not blindfolding themselves?
Since they're going to lead us anyway, I will.
That's
Do I
about
have
to
Quetzal out? I already had Quetzal out when we went
Mm-hmm.
swimming, so I will just have him follow next to me, and I will see through his eyes.
Okay.
I will warg into him since
Okay.
I'm going to be blindfolded anyway.
Okay. All right. In that case, after you are all, as far as they can tell, sufficiently blinded, they take you down. They begin guiding you through the bog, which is the path that they lead. You can tell is a little bit more firmly packed and set, such that you do not fall into any stagnant water or sinking mud or anything. And ooh, sorry, waiting for a map to load.
We did not get our short rest. They stopped us.
Correct.
Ooh, 1 second.
All right, let's get you to. I will drop you all on the map. Just give me a moment.
God, this map is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. There, after about a 15 or so minute walk, there is the sound of a door being opened, and then you are taken down a small flight of stairs that smells different. You can tell that you are moving underground. It is slightly damp. The ground beneath you is packed earth rather than soil per se. And let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who am I missing? Oh, cars. Okay. And Dasani, can you see?
No, mine's still black.
Okay.
You might need to
Oh,
move
yeah,
Yeah,
around.
make
bit.
sure you're zoomed out a bit.
I'm just going down.
Well, apparently this token didn't save his lighting.
Yeah, I
setting.
don't think the lighting. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have dark vision, so. Alright.
That's fine. Give it.
Okay, there's
There you go.
that.
There we go.
You're gonna want to zoom in. Oh shit.
I'm just
Okay.
using someone else's computer, so it's. I know. I'm just trying to get to her. See, this is doing that.
Okay.
I'm gonna drag it.
When you have passed through this first door, you are led a short ways and then through another door, and then you are either instructed or assisted in revealing to you the room that you are currently standing in, which appears to be a resting quarters, but a very makeshift resting quarters. It appears, it would appear to be that of a guard room. And the lizard folk who are with you stand around, and then there is also another one who has entered since, or was here before. It's hard to tell. Zashel, for your ability to see, you would have seen that you've moved through a path. You found there was a type of a hill that was kind of sloped, the earth kind of sloped downwards, and then there was this hill that in this hill, surrounded by some reed-like plants and some types of flowering markers, was a hidden door that you were led through, and after you were brought down the steps, there was also another guard room that you passed through, and now you are here. The other room that you moved through had more people in it than this one does, and the larger lizard folk, not the one who brought you in, but this guy down here, starts speaking in Draconic to his fellows. Zashel, he says, the message that's communicated is, these are the ones that you found. Yes, these are the ones that we were told to meet up on the high ground, and i.e. you guys, have invoked the name of the queen. And when they mention the queen, the larger one, the fourth in the group, stiffens and seems rather perturbed. And he looks at the group of you and in common asks, "To what purpose do you seek Othakent?"
We represent the people, the humans of the town of Saltmarsh. following a meeting with several of your fellows earlier, the people of Saltmarsh are interested in forging a peace treaty, a non-aggression pact, some sort of alliance with the tribe of the Swamps.
And what might you soft-fleshed creatures have that could be offered to our people?
We have been given permission to negotiate whatever we have been given leave to negotiate terms with your tribe. If there are things you need, including weapons or supplies, you seem to have been purchasing some of them from the smugglers. At the very least, the middlemen could be cut out of that arrangement. If you need medical supplies or trade partners, or I don't know, what can we help you with?
There's an air of very obvious distrust, and he tells the others in Draconic to have you wait here and rest. And then he makes to leave the quarters. Is this something that you guys take? Yeah, this a moment in the barracks to rest.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
And taking everything for Zashel not to just immediately answer his Draconic and just say, "Oh, thank God." But
I'm gonna wait till I'm not almost dead.
What?
No, I just nothing.
No, you are looking terrible.
Yeah, no, I had an idea, but I'm like, if it goes poorly, I'm gonna die instantaneously, so I'm not gonna do that right now.
Okay.
How many lizard folk total did we see in the barracks?
In the barracks, the room that you are currently in, there's only the 3. Zashel, in the room prior, there were 5 others.
so a lot is the answer to your question.
The caverns that you're in, given a bit of the opportunity to see, and I'll do some work to light it a little bit better for you. There's these barren mattresses and bunks that are kind of set up in this room, but the caves themselves are packed earth. They look like they've been dug, and then are being supported by wooden beams that look, I would say, somewhat rotted and not particularly well set. And there is a very light dampness to the caves in general, but it's not particularly dangerous as far as you can tell.
I'm good with short resting.
Yes, absolutely.
Same.
Okay. Let's have you guys get your short rest in while I work on getting a light. I could have sworn that this map was already lit, but it's very clearly not.
Hell yeah. I'm fucking back full HP. Cost me my fucking dice, but hey.
2 out of 3. I'm good. Sadly, I only get 2. I don't get my healing light dice back.
Yeah.
I get every single thing back. Except relentless endurance.
There we go. Dasani, can you see a little bit better now?
Huh?
Can you see
It's
better?
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm good now. I'm spinning. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right, and I'll just move that fire around as you guys move as well, because there is torchlight, but not a lot. It's rather sparse. It looks as if, even though it looks as if the lizard folk do require light in order to see, but take advantage of the fact that the caverns are dark, and in general, like the hallways that you can kind of peer down in this direction, torches are few and far between. Okay, is everyone set for short rest?
His Grandeur will take a short rest once I am not literally about to die.
I'm
To one of the lizard folk who is near him, he will nonchalantly offer them the flask.
They look at you and look down at what you have in your hand and put their hand out in a refusal.
Grindr shrugs and takes another swig.
Once Zashel is a little bit rested, he will cast light on Yop's shield.
There we go.
Is that really bright? Good lord.
It's not like
Really?
it's daylight.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to use my dark vision here, and it's like, God.
Are you saying that in character?
Yes.
Okay.
He's clearly, well, mostly joking.
Okay. That's just like a wild thing to say.
Trying to.
Zashel stares in confusion, like, why wouldn't you want more light?
You're just gonna
It's
glare at him the bird.
it's a- A joke. I mean, it's a joke about if you've ever used NVGs and there's a bright light in the room. It's really hard to see fucking anything
Got it.
because it looks entirely white.
Half the party can't see in the dark.
Well, that's not my problem now, is it?
I mean, it will become your problem if they can't see in the dark.
Scrubs.
Is there anything that you do besides this in the meantime?
It's okay. If we can't see in the dark, you can just die by yourself, and we'll send back you.
No. See, I'll fight by myself, win, and then heal you all when you get stabbed in the dark anyway. Because we all know it doesn't matter how dark it is, you guys will run in head first into any combat.
Haven't you started most of our combats?
Has
No.
he tried to grapple the person on the boat, and therefore
Okay, we were
combat.
Okay, technically, I started that fight. Can you name another one?
I'm sorry. Technically,
Okay, I started the fight because we were about to be attacked when they realized that we were not the people we said we were because we delivered them a crate of dirt.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
never-
Doug, you should be throwing stones here with
What?
I can see you and then pincushion and then we're in a fight.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out
That's
there.
No. As we remember, when I was Summer last time, you guys were like, hey, let's not fight them. And then I got 3 arrows to the chest. So Summer don't play that no more. Summer does not negotiate.
I love this game. Okay. After a time, an appropriate time for you guys to recover, and also an appropriate time for this person to wander the vast caverns of his home lair. He returns and he says, "Come this way." And he will begin to lead you. He'll begin to lead you down.
Folds, right?
Hmm?
I asked him. I said we don't need the blindfolds anymore, right?
He nods. Would you all get into a marching order headed down this path? And actually line up going down this way, it'll be easier.
I will be behind whoever's talking.
I definitely don't want to be last.
I will go first.
I won't be behind up with her glowing shield of light. Because
Question,
I need
sir.
light.
I'd like to be in the middle, please.
I mean, if I have to, I can pull up the rear.
I'm trying.
And then you can use your dark vision behind us.
Ooh.
How was that somehow a fucking burn to you weirdos?
Shouldn't he be in the front because he doesn't need the light?
No, I should be in the back because the light's pointed front.
I am the light 'cause I'm a star. I need a fucking nap.
It sounds like it.
I need to use the sleep. Druid, move up. I forgot your Sunny. Good job.
How could you forget that name?
So
Well, I was
rude.
trying to remember his real life name. I call most people in the server by their real life name.
All right. Okay. This is. Let me. Is that how we want to be? Is this how we want to be?
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Can we get a little more space? Before we all fight a fireball.
Here, I'm gonna.
What?
Why would they? I mean,
Okay,
They
if
wanted
they
to
were
kill
going
us,
to
they
kill
would've
us, they would have
just-
killed us before we short rested.
Or
they would have killed us before they bagged us and brought us down here.
Or maybe.
Back.
It's
There's
more
not a-
of
there's
who's
not a
gonna
maybe.
start the combat.
I'm just saying,
By
off your
anchoring
dusty,
them.
guys.
Okay.
Lose, how dare you?
Just bear with me as I move you guys a little at a time so you can see where you're headed. Okay. You're brought into this room. There is a wooden table with wooden chairs in the center of the room, with a wooden bowl containing apples, and against the west wall, a brass-bound wooden chest at the foot of a single bed. This looks like private quarters. And this lizard folk, he turns once you've all entered and then goes to close the door. And then he sits at one of the chairs and he indicates for one of you to sit as well.
Sasha will look around at everybody and anybody.
You will see Vikaris staring at Satchel.
I mean, you're the best at talking to them.
Just thought I'd offer, and then I will sit down.
Okay.
Ragnar will stand behind him.
Okay. He says, "My name. I am called Vatha. I am a deputy to Othakant. And as such, I should speak with all of you before you meet with her. Our queen is, I should say, perhaps unwell. She feels a softness, a fondness for creatures that could prove vulnerable to our enemies. I mean only little offense when I say I do not think that all of you, nor your city of humankind, could stand a chance against our enemies. And I feel alliance would get us nothing.
I want to answer in Draconic, but I would also like everyone to understand me, so I am going to stick to Common.
Okay.
If it looks like I'm losing him, like he's struggling to understand me, then I will stop.
Okay.
Throw on a couple words, grammar, or some vocab in there, and Draconic, it works.
First off, allow us to apologize for, or to express our sympathies, rather, for the ill state of your queen. If there's anything I or any of my companions can do to assist her, please do not hesitate to ask. To let us know, rather. If you are indeed beset by another enemy, there is hopefully something we can do, if in the form of arms, possibly. I don't know that I can commit, that I truly have the authority to commit the military forces of Saltmarsh to your aid, but I think I won't speak completely out of turn to suggest that the Lighthouse franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated is ready to negotiate any additional aid that we might provide outside of your agreement, if any, with the town of Saltmarsh. Perhaps you can tell me about this adversary, and perhaps you can tell me about this adversary, and maybe we will know something that can help you. I'm sorry, I'm dying at Draconic.
Yeah, it's very good.
Thanks.
Was that it that you were? Was that all you were trying to say, Ted?
At the moment, yeah. I was kind
Okay.
of seeing if he was going to tell us about.
Yep.
Twitter.
He says, and he looks at all of you and is very visibly sizing you all up. And he says, 7 feet tall, 4 arms, powerful swimmers, vicious teeth. I do not think any of you could fight Sahajan and survive.
While I know what that is, does that name mean anything to Zash?
Roll a nature check.
Can anybody?
I will also do that.
Can Dasani being a water creature?
Probably not with his abilities.
Not with his background.
That you know what? That's yeah.
Probably not the best bet.
Would there be another check that might be doable? I have a 0 on nature. I don't know if it really fucking matters. Oops. Yeah, well, I won't.
Not great.
We've got Vicaris and Zashel, who know enough and substantially enough to know that these creatures are intelligent, tribal beasts that are very ferocious and bloodthirsty and very difficult to fight, and also very good at hiding in water, and are in fact very dangerous and territorial beyond all belief. They are, as he described, incredibly large, have many arms, and fight very capably underwater. I would even say, particularly with that nat 20, quite capable of channeling divine magic rather appropriately, as is with most of D&D. There's a leaning towards evil creatures having a matriarchy. Everyday sexism.
No, I was trying to think of a non-evil matriarchal society in D&D.
Uh-huh.
Not sure I can do it.
Exactly. I
the
am
only
Then
thing
again,
I
I could
can
name
think
two,
of
and
is-
that's Drow and the Sahuagin. So
The only thing I can think of is, well, not really, is I can't remember
Yeah,
that right now.
I know.
No, I can't remember the name of it. The fucking silver something.
What do you say to him in response then?
I am familiar with the things that you say you are fighting. While I admit we have never had to test ourselves specifically against them, I am confident that this group is capable of far more than we might seem. In addition to direct services, the town of Saltmarsh, at the very least, would like to ensure that we have, or that they have, no interest in being a threat to you from their direction. A non-aggression pact would almost certainly be a non-issue here, but a true alliance where we might be able to offer additional, if not military might, weapons, supplies, food, medicines, perhaps, support services, maybe even magical aid, if I'm, now that I think about it. Well, what is... I don't want to ask how goes the fight against these things, but rather, what is the most pressing concern that they present to you? Is there a specific area, for instance, that is about to be overrun?
Roll a persuasion check. He's very quiet and is regarding you with rather, as far as you can understand it, skepticism. And eventually tells you they fight from the water and want our cave homes. We have nowhere else to go to. They pushed us from our last caverns, and we have only just gotten comfortable here.
While I am sure that the people of Saltmarsh would be willing to offer you refuge in much of the lands around their town, I suppose that really is only a temporary solution, since it sounds like these creatures continue to push out of their normal watery home. If they were how much of an undertaking would relocating your tribe be? I have to imagine there's a sizable number of you that would make even the most well-intentioned settling effort difficult.
Make another persuasion check if you would.
I'm going to burn the last inspiration I have on that.
Okay. Okay. He gets a little huffy and says, "We are many here. Moving may change that."
Well, how many is many?
His second lid flicks over his eyes, and he looks at Yop, and he just says very proudly, "Many dozens."
Yop waves.
He does not return that gesture. There are little ones that would not be able to travel and would be eaten by anything that came through after the strong have left.
Well then, we shall have to see if there is some way we can prevent them from taking this place. Do you have any estimation of how many dozens of these creatures there are against you?
He shakes his head. About this point, there is noise outside in the hall, and some chatter, and eventually another lizard folk comes to the door and bangs on it rather loudly, and this one looks smaller in comparison to the fellow you're talking to, Vatha, and says, and in Draconic, says to Vatha, which, naturally only the one who speaks Draconic would understand, "The Queen is wondering where the guests have gone to." And he very quickly realizes that all of you are in here and looks surprised and nervous, and then looks back to the deputy who just returns a very blank and cold look, and then the smaller one backs up and leaves and closes the door.
Is there a problem?
Interesting.
He shakes his head.
So then, you were...
I do not think that we will find need of your assistance, you or your city. If this is all. You shall be escorted back to your vessel.
You will forgive me. I mean, no disrespect, but given the first we met your kind and the way that I knew your queen's name, we are still meeting with the queen, I hope. At the time, several of your warriors were seeking to procure weaponry. We can at least provide more weaponry. We can provide medical supplies. All of these things Saltmarsh is willing to give you, in the hopes that you will not turn your eye towards their territory, which, as you have said, you have no interest in leaving here, is somewhat of a no-cost-to-you decision, so I'm struggling to understand why you think Saltmarsh can provide you nothing. Unless there is something further with your queen that you are not telling us.
Roll persuasion again.
Ooh, yeah.
Somebody burn inspiration on that.
He stands and goes to the door and says, I shall have guards to come fetch you and take you back to the surface. And then he leaves.
The queen is expecting us. That one seems to have ulterior motives.
He is either making a power play within the tribe, or he is taking the, well, not quite, the chieftain's goodwill into his own hands. I say we'll get far more out of the queen than him.
Almost certainly, but no, definitely. It will be an interesting journey to her, though.
I think we can pull it off. I think we just head there now and act like that's where we're supposed to be, because it's where we are, and I think it might just work.
Well, was our contract to negotiate a settlement or to gather information?
Both.
Both.
We were to gather information and potentially do a peace treaty, but that was never our true mission. It's something we took on ourselves.
That is
we
what
were
I
given full authority by the council to forge a pact.
Right, but full authority to forge a pact doesn't mean that that was the binding portion of the agreement. The binding portion of the agreement was that we provide them with information. We
Yes.
had authority to make an agreement if we
That was
could.
my point.
Yes, we're under no obligation to. We won't fail the contract by not having done it, however.
Wonderful.
I'm more
why
inclined to
not?
think of the more longer-term interests of Saltmarsh in this endeavor.
Well, then
The Sahuagin forces, when they overrun this place, which they almost certainly will without any assistance to these lizard folk, will then turn their eyes on Saltmarsh. Almost certainly. We're down
I see.
the water. If we can form some sort of agreement here, we might be able to sort of stem the tide here. We can go back to Saltmarsh, but I think it behooves us to try to speak to the Queen, since I find it odd that this lieutenant of hers would lie.
It's certainly
I-
odd that
directly.
he's taking matters into his hands as such. And he has declared himself a second in command. I have not heard or seen anything to that effect.
I think he has more authority than we do, and by overriding it and not listening to what he has to say, we are
our actions could be seen as problematic, offensive at worst.
Well,
They could, however, the little one that came in and spoke to Vutha was saying that the queen is expecting us. She is wondering where we are. I think it would be rude, at the very least on our part, to not meet her if she's expecting to meet us.
Well, I agree, but how do we get from here to there?
That's a good
be
question.
with our feet.
I was going to go and see if I could possibly ask one of the guards. Hold on. And I will go to the door and poke my head out.
You hear some footsteps coming down the way. Here, I'll just put you on the other side of the door real quick so you can see. I didn't mean for them to appear right in front of you, but they're
Hey, guys!
coming up the way. And these are your escorts that brought you from above ground.
I will address them in Draconic this time. Ah, fantastic. I was told to wait here until someone came to get us to bring us to the Queen. I was just checking to see where our escort was. Ah, but you seem to be here, and so we are ready to go to the Queen, yes?
Nice.
The two whose names you've not yet learned look confused at each other.
Oh, I'm sorry, is Vutha one of those three?
No.
Okay, good.
No. Kepesk, the one who spoke to you before, just looks a little puzzled and says, are we not to bring you back to your boat?
I was told the Queen is expecting us. Short fellow, and I will describe the smaller lizardman who came in. I was told that the Queen is wondering where we were. We don't want to be rude and keep her waiting.
They Kepesk quietly says something to the other two, and there's a small amount of whispering, and then Kepesk kind of steals a little and says, Yes, follow us.
Fantastic. 1 second. Let me grab my companions. Let's go.
All right.
Much
Let me
as
get you
I
all.
thought.
Let me just get you all in a horde, and I'll drag you all at once. Oh, there's so many of you. Okay, here we go. Out into the passageway. Now I've got to zoom out to remember where the hell I have to go. Okay. You are brought down this direction, and then down into this hall, and then down the hall some more. You pass a few doors, actually a little ways back. There's these two glorious double doors that are very intricately carved with crashing waves and fish in the water, and unlike any of the other just plain wooden and iron-bound doors that you've seen thus far. Let me rearrange you so you'll all fit into this room the way you're supposed to. Oh, sorry about that. I just knocked you on your side. You'll be fine. And as you come down this hallway, the little one that you've encountered before, who came in, is actually in the hall back here, and talks with Kepesk and Zashel. They more or less the exchange of like, we have the guests of the Queen, and the little one gets excited. He actually runs ahead to open the door for you this direction. Can I get that door open? Come on. Come on. Maybe. Jesus. Well, I can't not. I gotta get it now. There we go. Okay. Inside this hall, let me just. Um,
Oh.
Let me get the. Okay. 2 sets of 3 pillars flank a central area where 2 lizard folk hatchlings are playing. At the far end of the room, a wooden throne stands on a low stone dais. Carvings of reptiles decorate the throne, and glints of reflected light hint at the presence of inset gems. The head of several creatures hang on the walls, mounted on plaques of wood for display as trophies. There are many lizard folk in this room in attendance. There is also this creature right here. He is in fact a lizard folk. He is tremendously huge and heavy and armored, and is instructed by one of the others to stand back as you enter. And at the throne is a lizard folk figure who is wearing a skull as a mantle with feathers and beads and skins to decorate her whole form. She is, as far as you have seen, built, besides, the fella up here, built tremendously larger than the soldiers that you have, the soldiers and hunters that you've thus seen, and though heavily decorated, is not painted, is not frilled, is rather plain in appearance except for the markers of her station. Let me actually try to put you guys in a better spot. There we go. That's better. That's better. And she, without standing, addresses you and says simply, "You must be the guests, then." And her voice is carrying in a way that the others who speak in more hissing whisper you wouldn't expect. She is trying to create presence with her voice.
I assume Vutha is in here somewhere.
He is not.
Oh, okay, good. Cool. One less thing to worry about. I will address her in Draconic. I will bow and gesture to my companions to do so.
Does anyone not?
I will
No.
bow.
I would bow.
Saudi says, "Saw, dude," and bows. Sorry, do that.
It's not the fucking problem. I love it. I love that. I hate it.
Thought we all just needed that laugh. You're welcome.
No, it's been a little bit dry so far, so thank you.
Saw, do that,
It's
and
been very
bows, and
serious.
stays there and waits.
Greetings, Queen Othicant. I am Zashel of the Lighthouse Branch of Acquisitions Incorporated. These are my companions, Greinar, Dasani, Vicaris, Yumi, and Yop. We are, as I have said to, as I'm sure you are aware, we are here on behalf of the town of Saltmarsh to negotiate perhaps some sort of treaty between their people and yours in the hopes of peaceful relations between the two communities. We, the people of Saltmarsh, understand that there has been some conflict in the past between your two peoples, and they would endeavor to put that all behind them, and as such have tasked us with negotiating as much of a settlement as possible. We understand that you are currently engaged in conflict with the Sahagwin. Zashel knows how to say it. And would endeavor to assist you in that matter as in any way that we can.
And by what means come you this information of our enemy?
We were speaking to your negotiator Vutha.
I see.
And while he was not entirely convinced that Saltmarsh or indeed Acquisitions Incorporated could be of assistance, I am sure you probably know better than Vutha does.
Should have left out the probably there.
Yeah, I was going to say something different, and then it just kind of swerved, and it was too late. So, it's what it is.
Not waiting long to respond, she says, "Thank you. Now, what sort of services might Saltmarsh provide to my people to fight this enemy?"
Saltmarsh is capable of providing material support, weapons, medicines, any other tools that you might need. They have ships to run supplies, and if you would need military might, that is certainly something that I would be willing to bring back to them. That is a message I'd be happy to bring back to them, and they may be willing to provide.
Military might. What sort of forces might you be able to provide?
I am afraid I am unfamiliar with the specifics of Saltmarsh's military capabilities. There is a gentleman that we have corresponded with, one of the members of the council there, who would know better. If military might is what you are interested in, I can return that message to him and be back here with his response. If there are other things that you need in the meantime, or any assistance that we here at Acquisitions Incorporated can provide directly, and I'll just kind of hand shrug like a just say something.
The Kepesk actually says after you finished, he looks at you and then looks to the queen and says, "Lady, these creatures destroyed the Bullywug tribe that has been haunting our doorstep." And he speaks in Draconic, and she seems a little surprised, and she looks at all of you, and even though you've taken a short rest, and you still look battered and muddy and everything, and she says, all of you, the 6 of you, were capable of this?"
The Bullywugs, yes. When we landed, they accosted us, and we were forced to defend ourselves.
And how would you think you could fare against such an enemy as our own?
I would be hesitant to suggest that we would guarantee victory, mostly because we have never faced the foe that you speak of.
Does question, Sarah? Does she mean a lizard folk or one of their enemies? 'Cause she said one of our own.
I thought she said enemy of our own.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard one of our own. Okay.
Yeah, that would have made my answer real awkward.
That's why I was confused.
Okay. She says, "What would you be willing to do to prove that you, your troop, and your city could make do on your word?"
I suppose, and Zasha will sort of look around at everyone. If there is a specific task that you immediately need our assistance with, Acquisitions Incorporated would be happy to help prove that both we and the people of Saltmarsh have the best interests of peace between the two peoples in heart.
One of the attending folks next to her leans over and mutters, and she ponders a statement and then says to you, "We are plagued," an appropriate word, "by a predator in our waters. Above ground, there is a body of water that holds a beast with 1,000 teeth. Bring me its head, and we shall have a deal."
Grinar is grinning into ear to ear.
As I say, Zashel kind of looks back at everybody like, good, we cool, yes, sounds good.
As he looks back, Grinar clanks his gauntlets together in affirmation.
Garth is not looking super pleased, but is also not saying no.
Yumi? Yeah.
Really just agreeable. She kind of gives you a nod.
Dasani shrugs.
Yop will sort of push her way up a little closer to Zashel and just whisper,
Do we have to do it right now?
Soon, I would think, not necessarily immediately.
I'm still not feeling very well.
We'll have some time to rest between now and then, I hope.
Oh, lovely.
Your proposition is agreeable then. Whatever this beast is, if you can make sure we have clear directions on where we're headed, we will be happy to return with proof of the creature's demise.
Kepesk, Usk, Arak, you will take them to the pond. And the 3 guards you have been with nod.
Now
Do you require anything beforehand? It must have been a difficult challenge to fight as many of those frog folk as there were.
An evening's rest would not go amiss, although if the journey is long, we can perhaps get that on the way there. Any supplies anybody needs? Anyone?
Just a rest.
Grinar, perhaps some of whatever you use to make your healing poultices?
If Grinar says if they have herbs to make healing, that would healing potions, that would be amenable. If they also have more caustic ingredients, that would be very amenable to me.
Are you talking to the queen or are you talking to Zashel?
Talking to Zashel.
Okay.
Zashel will kind of relay that to the queen. A bit of rest, or if you have the ingredients to prepare healing draughts, that would also be helpful as well. I don't know that you would keep acid here, but...
Well, I'm not asking that she would keep acid specifically, but if she might know or have a stockpile of things that could make acid, would be more likely.
She says, "A night's rest amongst my brothers, and access to the temple, and our shaman. In the morning, you shall be escorted." and she reaches to her side next to the throne where there is a small but not insubstantial scepter that she clangs against the side of the wooden throne, and you are dismissed.
Give another bow. And back away.
Okay. So this place is fucking huge. Where do you want to go now that I've mentioned 2 locations? Is there a direction that you'd like to take immediately? You'll be directed wherever you end up going.
I don't think I have anything specific. She said something about a
Shaman.
temple, so
Shaman and Temple is up my alley.
Okay. All right. Anything specific from anyone else?
I want as little interaction with lizard folk as possible. I'll probably head to the barracks.
Okay. All right. I'll put you back in the barracks. Oh wait, nope. I think you actually go here. Yop, you are interested in resting, but not as interested, I would say, necessarily as Vikaris is, and as invested in Vikaris's not being left alone as Yumi is. And so when you are taken through this large, clearly dining room or dining space, you have kind of a softer motivation to linger. There are more, very obviously, as far as you've been able to determine, the binary between sexes in lizard folk has been smaller males with bright frills and then larger females that are rather plain. But so far, Ethel-Kent has been the only female that you've been able to see. Even in this dining space where there is cooking being done, there are meals being prepared and work cleaning and other things happening. It's all males here. Just a point of interest. You're welcome to stay here, or you're welcome to just follow along with everyone else to the other room.
Do you all need help?
Most of them do not speak common, so this becomes very uncomfortable.
Well, maybe uncomfortable for them. Do you all need help?
I wouldn't say discomfort. I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but they don't know how to respond. But if you make it obvious that you're interested in helping, they will hand you utensils and.
No, I'll just sort of waddle along.
All right. They don't regard you in the same, I would say, like, general intent to ignore that they do with everybody else, and that's almost certainly because you, 1, have a very unique appearance in general, and 2, look, as they have commented several times, you do not look to be one of the soft folk per se, and that has been proven time and time again. So they don't just outright ignore you, and in some means try to actually engage with you in conversation, though quickly realizing that you don't speak the same language, they forget that very quickly.
Okay, well, I guess I will just make my way through the room. I'll do my best to attempt to engage, but at failing at all of that, on the way out of the room, I will give a couple knocks on my hard shell and vanish through the door.
Okay, and I'll just...
Hard knock life.
Whoop! I stretched you out. There we go.
Phrase
basically Zashel should have just dropped his shirt so they could see scales. Got it.
I mean, Zashel's still technically soft, is the thing.
Not any softer than lizard folk. That's not true.
Technically, they have a natural AC.
I don't think they do.
They do.
Yeah, okay, well, then yes.
Uh,
I gotta find the drop the shirt.
oy. I
No
don't.
way.
I
Please
don't
no.
like that.
It's
I'm
not that bad, you weirdos.
By the way, before Yop leaves, I'd like to request the book.
Oh, she's in the room with you now.
Oh, okay. I thought she was leaving us shortly.
No, she just. I just gave an opportunity to linger, and so you can experience one of 52 rooms in this dungeon. The barracks that you are all brought into has about a dozen straw mattresses that are lying scattered around each with a wooden chest at its foot. And at the south end of the room, a long table is set centrally with wooden benches on either side. A few lizard folk are seated on benches and mattresses, talking or tending to their weapons or whatever. Again, these appear to be all male. There's another one of these very, very big lizard folk in here. And you are given by Usk. You're given by Usk a couple of cots that you are allowed to rest on, and he indicates a few more that everyone else, the rest of your party, can use as well, as it gets later. Anything?
I will hand Vicaris the book. Yop then lies prone on the ground. She withdraws into her shell, and then a hand pokes back out and pats around a little bit, trying to find her hat, which popped off her head, and pulls that into the shell.
Are you next to a wall, Yop?
Probably not. Probably in between a couple cots.
Okay, cool. I'll find a spot like as close to Yop as possible, but also like against a wall. And then, are they looking at me any kind of funny way?
Not predatorily, as you would be concerned about.
Okay, but like, are the majority of them looking at me racistly?
I think more in the sense that they are watching, essentially, spaces of their own being taken and watching what you do, and no, they're not staring more at you than they are at like Yumi.
Okay. Then I will read my book every so often, looking up at them and making sure they're not getting closer.
They are absolutely not doing that.
Okay, I don't trust it.
Just out of curiosity, read whose book?
Yop's book.
Okay.
Just want to clarify who wears pants around here.
Do you feel powerful now, Adam?
Do you feel good about yourself?
Can't let Vicaris slip by with anything.
That's very
Actually, a good point.
He's got
yeah.
a point, yeah.
true. A really good point.
Can't let him. You give him an inch, you know.
Okay.
And I'm gonna wait for everyone to come back before going to sleep.
All right. Okay, so the other three are escorted to the temple. This is the room that has those beautiful double doors. Ooh. Okay. The doors open and they're very heavy. This looks like, as far as you've seen, besides like the throne and parts of the throne room, the most effort has been put into making this space look like a home and comfortable, and also very clearly venerated. There's sweet perfume in the air, and at the far end there is a lizard folk who is crouching at a stone altar, and to each side of the altar are small little burners, and at the center is a candelabrum with 4 lit candles. Above the altar, the southern wall is decorated with a marine fresco of a lizard folk warrior brandishing a club. Blue and green drapes cover the east and west walls. When you enter, the lizard folk who is kneeling stands, he looks over his shoulder and then stands and comes to approach you. He is very clearly much older than any of the other lizard folk that you have yet encountered. He's got sunken skin, and a lot of his bones are he's very skeletal in his appearance, with sagging bits of skin, flesh, and such, and he is decorated not unlike Othokent, as far as drapery and clothing and beads and such. And he approaches you, and with surprisingly good common, he just says, we have guests in my house of prayer, and how might you all be? And you have an escort with you, so obviously you're not like surprising him per se. And he says, is there something that old Sariv can help you with this evening? We are about to go to rest soon.
Spell that in for me.
Uh-huh.
Grynar gives a probably not a bow, but a more traditional greeting of his people, but I'm not sure exactly what that would look like. But in any case, and says, it is an honor to meet you, Shaman. We seek to defeat the beast known as Thousand Teeth, and the Queen directed me here in the hopes that we might secure materials to make items of healing or he kind of looks for a way to say it fancier and just says antacid, if that's possible.
I might have some things that you could find useful. And he very slowly ambled. Oh, who'd we lose? Is it Adam?
No, I think it was
Nope.
Doug.
Alright. Everyone here? We all good?
Yes.
Doug's muted, so.
Okay.
Doug, do you exist? Did you die?
Oh,
I think he died.
you good,
Still-
Doug?
I guess those edibles were really good.
Can't fucking figure out the push talk.
Uh-oh. Okay, it's okay. He's not in this scene anyway. Okay, well, we'll give him a minute. Hey guys, Logan just came in with a goatee.
I can't hear anything.
Are you sure it's
I can hear
Logan
that.
and not evil Logan?
It's not evil Logan. He's blonde. It's kind of hard to be evil with a goatee if you're blonde.
Okay.
Sure about
that?
He's also wearing a Hawaiian shirt, so like there's a lot.
There's a lot of Logan going on.
There's a lot of Logan here. Goatee is... It's alright. It's alright. It's not bad. Anyway, I'm working, so I'm gonna go back to this, if that's okay. It's pretty good. Doesn't look... it's pretty good. Love you, honey. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. I apologize. Anyway, Sariv wanders away. He parts one of the curtains, steps away for a little bit. He's there for a minute because he moves rather slowly, and then he returns with a rolled bundle of scrap leather, and he holds it out to all of you.
Grynar will take it.
It's a healer's kit. That's what he has for you.
Okay. Is it full 5 charges?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
5 charges in the healer's kit?
They're 10.
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
I
like-
thought it was 10.
Why do I only have 5 in mine? I use 5?
That sounds possible. Sounds very possible.
Well, I don't think I've used it that much since I actually got it. I don't remember. Whatever.
I think early on in the haunted house, we had to use some charges.
I
That
didn't
sounds
have
right.
it. I
The
don't
kit
think I had it
definitely
then.
has 10 uses, though.
No, you're right about that. I thought I bought it after that. But anyway, any case, Grynar looks it over and says, and motions to Sani, Andrew, motions to Sani. I already have one of these. These might serve you better.
Thanks, dude. Sonny takes it. And
Don't huff it.
Sonny nods and says, "Darn."
This basically lets you stabilize somebody without having to do a check, which, I mean, you're a druid, so you probably would do pretty well on a check anyway, but this way you don't have to.
Cool.
If someone's
Yep.
annoying you and you want to knock them out but make sure they don't die, it works perfectly.
Yeah, that too. Okay. Anything else that you ask of Sauron?
What can you tell us about this thing with 1,000 teeth?
Ah, it's a creature not unlike myself. And he kind of his throat makes a really rasping, kind of almost a choking sound that you think is supposed to be a laugh. You're like, ha, ha, ha. And he says, long, about 9 feet, crawls on all of its little legs, 4 legs, and a gaping mouth, large jaws, and, as it said, 1,000 teeth. And he makes that laughing sound again that doesn't quite sound like a laugh.
I see. Nothing more specific?
Why don't you roll me an insight check? By his description, it sounds like a crocodile.
Okay. Good to know. How long has this been pestering the tribe?
Ah, better part of the 10-day.
Ah, so it's a recent thing.
He
I
nods
suppose
very
the
slowly.
Conflict with the Sauhagan keeps your tribe from being able to spare any warriors to deal with it.
He nods again. Only 2 hunters have fallen to 1,000 teeth, but 2 is too many.
Understood. Well, gentlemen, if your business here is concluded. One more thing, Sarv. What can you tell me about Vutha?
A sub-chief to Othokent. One of many of his station. He is bold and strong and very capable. And a very powerful ally.
I see.
Grynar mutters under his breath, "Or a dangerous enemy."
I have ears son.
I said I mutter under my breath. Okay.
He actually has a very high passive.
Grynor shrugs and says it is the duality of things.
What reason would he have for keeping us from the queen?
His eyes darken a little, and he says, "Is that what he's done? Have you not made audience?"
No, we have. There was simply some...
Grynor taps him on the shoulder and says, "Maybe later."
Fair enough. Another time.
You are from the city, then? Is that correct?
Sort of. We've come here on their behalf, though I am not from that place. Only one of our number is from the area.
Luther will not like you very much, then. And neither would the other lieutenants. And he gives that hoarse laugh.
The lieutenants have previously fought with Saltmarsh, or they just don't trust non-lizard folk?
He doesn't really shrug, but he tilts his head to both sides and then says, "Some have served in battles against Saltmarsh in the past. Some are the sons of those who have served. And others do not like folks such as yourself." And he reaches out a claw and pokes you in the stomach.
To him?
To Zashel.
Okay. I was gonna say, that's not gonna go so well for you, Chief.
Okay. Do you want to wrestle the shaman?
I mean, he's gonna stab plate armor. It's not gonna work very well for him. I'm gonna suplex him.
Okay. You said it's not going to go so well. Definitely sounded like a threat.
It definitely did. But what I meant was slamming your finger into plate armor, just kind of bounce off, not really, accomplish anything.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my phrasing, I swear to God. It's like every time I try to say something to you, you think I'm trying to kill everyone.
There is a lot that comes across that way, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know that. I just don't know why.
Is there anything else I can help you with, then?
No, I think that will be enough.
All right. Good evening, then. And he effortfully helps push open the door.
Grynor will go ahead and just open the door.
And then the three of you, do you have anything else you'd like to do before retiring?
As we're walking back, I would just like to cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Just to see.
Okay. Let me think of the way you'd go, where you'd be taken. Yeah, let's go. You'd be escorted back the same way you've come. Nothing lights up thus far. Okay. Let me double check that you'll be taken back through the throne room. Let me see. Nope, doesn't look like there's anything magical in here. And through the eating hall, nothing there. Through corridors, nothing. Into the barracks, nothing. Make sure. I don't think the temple had anything either. Nope. Okay. Long rest then?
Yes.
Please.
Yes, please.
What if I just made you do that fight without letting you long rest?
I'm
Yeah,
the
but-
only one who'd have any class features available.
I'm
You-
fine,
you
other
me
than
would.
2 healing dice.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot. It's a whole lot.
No, the 1 and the 2 I rolled on my hit dice were certainly very helpful.
Yikes. I got really good on mine. I got a 9, a 5, and an 8. Like the
Well,
I don't-
la-di-da.
I can't fucking hit anything in combat, but when it comes to recuperating HP, I got that on lock.
Listen, you're
Half
still
your
alive.
missing rounded up, or half your max rounded up for hit dice.
Half the missing, which is wild. Oh wait, no, it's half the max. That's what it is. It's half the max.
That sounds.
Yeah. In my head, the numbers were right, but I said the wrong thing. Okay.
So we'll get both.
Yes. So I'm gonna have you guys get into a marching order facing
What the hell was that for?
his season. What you get?
The same one.
Okay, so you did this to yourself.
That's fair. No, that's fair. It's just like any other one.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys get into a marching order. Headed, let's go left. Left being the front right here. And then I'll set you up for the next day as you're arranging yourselves. With the morning, you realize that there is clearly shift sleeping with the lizard folk in the barracks, because the ones who are sleeping now are not the ones who were here when you arrived. But Kepisk and Usk and what's the other one? Achuk are prepared to escort you as soon as you are ready.
Have we seen
How do we
Zuko
spell
since our
Ultra?
conversation?
Make a perception check.
Before we get started in the morning, Grynar would like to talk to Zashel in as much privacy as we can get.
Okay. Unfortunately, Yop.
I don't remember what Zutha looks like.
I was actually going to say kind of the exact thing.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right, Grynar. Which direction would you like to take to try to find privacy?
I was imagining like in the corner, as far away from everybody as we could.
Okay, so just still in the same room. All right. And if you want
Yeah.
to keep this quiet, private, I'll ask you to make a stealth check.
Okay.
This wouldn't have disadvantage or anything. It just
I assumed it wouldn't because they're just talking.
okay.
21.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm better than GM. Oops.
Oh, what was Yop gonna say?
Can I have my book back, Vicaris?
Of course.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
And I want to be sure that this map we've got right here, these folks right here, this is the order you want to go in? Your marching order? 'Cause I'm just going to copy you from this map.
Which
Facing
direction is
left.
front? Okay.
Left.
Let me swap places with Dashel.
I mean, I'm fine with like that. With Zashel being surrounded by everyone, that's fine too.
I mean, yeah, I just figure if we're getting attacked from right here, it'd be slightly better for you since we know what we're getting into.
Well, just because that's the front of the line doesn't mean that's where the attack's coming from.
This is true, but in theory, we're the one doing the attacking, assuming the Blizzard folk don't suck. But but as far as the secret meeting,
Yes.
Grynar pulls Zashel aside and says, so I'm not exactly an expert on the language, but I have some ideas about our certain political adversary.
Luther.
Yes. I'm my hunch is that as much as the shaman confirmed, is that he hates the outsiders and doesn't want anything to do with us, which is obvious now that he has confirmed it for us. But my question becomes, what do we want to do about him? Do we want to prove him wrong or politically maneuver him? In a more direct sense, my job is to get rid of obstacles. Do you want to take this the peaceful route and attempt to just prove that we will do what we say we will do and try to bring him around? Or I think if we wanted to, he seems very prideful. I think we could get him in quote unquote political trouble.
For now, I would prefer to avoid making too serious of waves. We should deal with this thing, and if he still does not want to treat with us after that, then we might consider something that doesn't tie to us directly. Something a little more... what's the word I'm looking for?
I think I understand what you mean. It is perhaps the most direct method to unseat the chieftain to defeat him in one-on-one combat, but there have been more than a few orc chieftains that have not met such a valorous fate. But I think that is wise, but I wanted to keep you aware in case he attempts something much the same, but perhaps tries to get us in political trouble as well. But I believe, if anything, his pride will be his downfall.
Yeah, I have no real sense of how to deal with him just now. Hopefully that will not be an issue, but if it does become an issue, I'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Fair enough. And Grynar offers him a drink from the flask.
No, I'm good, thank you.
One day. And he takes a drink. Speaking of which, they got any alcohol here?
Not that you have investigated.
Probably something we should have asked Sorav last night.
Yeah, I'll find it when we get back. Fine. I got enough to... Grynar, like, shakes the bottle and says, I've probably got enough to get me... Yeah, it's fine. I'll be fine until we get back.
Alright, who wants to kill a giant crocodile?
I am prepared.
Come on.
Feeling better?
Where's the energy? Come on.
This would be more exciting if I wasn't fighting for people who hunted my own.
Okay, well, you're also fighting for, Saltmarsh and the contract that they gave us, so...
To be fair, this was not in the contract.
He is.
Grynar rolls his eyes. We get to kill a gigantic crocodile. Can you imagine the flex?
I'm sorry, the what?
Wax.
Flex. See, Dasani gets it.
Yes, I imagine there will be lots of flecks of blood all over the place.
No, X. That's
Ah.
DK.
Flecks of water. Got it, because the Sunny's liquid.
Yeah,
Griner-
maybe that's it. Flecks of
Griner-
water.
Grinar sighs heavily and just face palms. You're all hopeless.
Are you sure it's us and not you?
I'm gonna go kill me a giant crocodile.
Okay. You are taken to the entrance of the of the caverns, where you are instructed by our Kepesk to
Did you
Come-
almost just say Oryx?
I did, and I don't know why.
That is deeply amusing.
Oryx is always on all of our minds.
Deep down, inside my soul,
Agreed.
still Oryx.
Kepesk instructs you to blindfold yourselves again or cover your eyes.
I'll pull my head down over my eyes again.
I'm gonna wrap Quetzal around my face.
Just fucking wraps a snake around his face. Alright.
That's like, in my head, there's like two ways this goes, which is just like having to kind of constrict around your head, which sounds awful, but the other option is to like take him and tie him around your head, which is also not good.
Griner.
In my mind, Quetzal does a thing where he picks his head up and then kind of coils around, lays his tail across the upper part of his neck, and just kind of grabs on with the tip of his tail. And then I'm gonna warg into Quetzal anyway, so.
Right.
Griner ties a strip of fabric around the helmet, like the eyes in the helmet.
Visor!
But obviously not exactly the greatest. He could take it off in half a second if he wanted to, but he just ties it around the visor, not even bothering to take it off.
Okay. I'm mostly asking if anyone doesn't cover their eyes. Alright, great. You are brought above ground. You can feel the fresh air. You can feel the breeze. It's colder here. It's dawn, or it's morning still, so it's kind of brisk. And you are guided for about 10 minutes, maybe 15, before you are allowed to remove your blindfolds. Zashel, you would know that you have traveled northward from the direction where you have come from before. And then you are taken for quite the hike. And it is effortful. You feel as if you are moving painfully slowly because because this is not as well fortified of a path as the one that you've tread previously. You are moving through difficult terrain. And this takes a few hours. The good part of the day is gone by the time they get to another kind of dip in the topography that lends itself to a small cluster of marsh trees and some soft mist as well. We're gonna use the same battle map because whatever. There is a body of water. This oops, wrong. This mass right here is a stinking stagnant pool that is rather dense and opaque, and reeks not only of standing water but also of decay, of flesh rotting, and there is yellowed bones that are kind of bobbing around the shallows of the water. There is soft. There's a light canopy between from the tree branches above you, and as you enter this circle, this hallow, your guides tell you that they have been instructed to not enter. They are too important to risk their lives in this endeavor. But those who survive this fight, they will take back to Othakent, and your promised alliance will be sealed.
Oh, hell.
Corona.
All right. What do you do?
They point the direction, I'm assuming.
Yeah, there's this body of water here that is indicated and stinks and looks like it has dead things in it.
Can I see any movement in the water?
Roll a perception check.
So, what is going to be our game plan here? I'm presuming we want to do something along the lines of that fire thing we did with the grung. Not grung. Bullywugs, sorry. The wrong one. And perhaps if we have something to hold it in place, or otherwise keep it from fighting back, that would be wise. And he looks to Fani.
Of course there's.
Right.
I can save my limited magics for healing. I could weaken it, but I don't know how long the enfeeblement would last. Do we think we have 10 minutes? I can summon Paralegal and walk him into the water as bait.
The water is not moving, which is suspicious to say the least.
Well, if this creature is as old as the shaman says it is, it's probably quite the clever hunter, generally. What is the phrase?
I will begin taking 10 minutes to cast Unseen Servant as a ritual.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll get through it, but I'll give it a shot.
All right. Anything else happening in that 10 minutes?
I'm just gonna keep my eyes on the water.
Did they give us
We'll
an
try
idea?
to stay alert.
Did they give us an idea of how big this thing was?
9 feet long is what Sarek, or Sarav said.
Would that be a large creature or a huge creature?
I think at large. Let me double
Okay.
check.
If it is large, I do have my net, which we can. I think if we just dogpile on all of the restraints that we can, if we get a fairy fire off, and then I can throw a net on it and then try and grapple it as well, just to make sure that it can't move or go anywhere. And then both myself and possibly Yop can try and stay up and take the hits while you guys pepper it from the shore. Oh, and also Sunny can turn into presumably some sort of large, very angry creature, and also keep its attention.
Are we trying to keep it in one place? Is that the plan?
That was my thinking. Well, if we can get it into a disadvantageous position and then keep it from maneuvering, that would be the goal. Like, especially if we could prompt it to get up on land where it no longer has the advantage of the water over us.
Well, if we can try and lure it to a specific spot, I can put a little trap out that might keep it in one place.
Alright, it could work.
Where should I lay that down?
What exactly are you mechanically working with? Snare?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, mechanically, is this the pond here, Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we might want to do is, like, put it right here. And then, we could have, like, Paralegal get in the water and then run through it. Does he count as he's a creature, right?
I believe he is one summon.
No.
He's designed to be able to like activate traps and things. So
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
let's
he's got
have him walk around it, and then try and lure it into that, or possibly myself. But also try and lure it into there, and then we can try to just go to town on it. I think that's a good start. If we spread, I think a good idea is to spread our ranged people out so that it wants to get at one of them, has to leave its back turned to the other, assuming it knocks us down. That's my plan. That's my plan. Put a snare down here. We attempt to either lure it out with if we can have Dasani use smells or something to try and lure it out with what's it called? Druidcraft, and then we can have the Paralegal get in the water and get its attention, and then try and lure it into the snare, and then we all just pounce on it.
I can also use my shocking hand, put it in the water, see if that pisses him off.
That's a little more. I want him to think that he has we're hunting the hunter. We want him to think he has the upper hand, and then as soon as he no longer has the upper hand, we pounce upon that opening. Not electrocute the pond suddenly and giving him advanced warning that things are trying to kill him.
Arguably, he does have the upper hand. He is a very strong creature that these other strong creatures are afraid of.
Yes, that is why we take him out of his element and then demolish him before he can respond. Is the goal.
Sure.
Blitzkrieg style. Obviously, Griner doesn't say the word Blitzkrieg, but you get the idea. You know what? Blitzkrieg is a dwarven tactic now. That's what we're calling it. So
Okay.
I think if we put the snare here, possibly here. He's a large creature. We'll probably put it here.
Why don't we put it right there?
Okay, we'll do that. That seems just as amenable. And then I will attempt to hide over here. And then, is anyone else planning to go into melee with it other than Dasani? I know you've been messing with range stuff lately, yep.
I don't know. I think I might stand on the other side of the trap and try and lure it out of the water.
Seems doable. Alright. So if Dasani, my thinking is to have me and Dasani here and possibly Yap over here if she wants to be with us as well. And then as soon as the trap is sprung, me and Dasani rush it, and then the ranged people can just be spread out a little bit further away so it can't reach them immediately. How's that game plan sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds fine.
Yop will
Taking out.
uncoil the rope from one of the rings fastened to her shell and lay it in a circle on the ground.
You don't want to get close.
And
Here, like, here.
let me put that in. What I'm doing here.
Stand. No, you're gonna go up and fight.
As you all begin to drift away from each other, some things are able to happen. The snare is set. I will say paralegal gets summoned, and one of the vines drops from the trees, and it keeps dropping, and then it keeps shifting and moving.
God.
And this
We were thinking it
fella-
was a crocodile.
this fella-
I don't think that this is. We pretty sure it's a crocodile. I think this is just another motherfucker. It's on our way.
an incredibly large snake drops
That's
to
a
the ground.
that's a really thin giant toad.
Drops to the ground and lifts its head, and let's roll initiative.
Okay, so select your person. Just click on your little avatar. And then open up your sheet.
9.
And 2 nat 20s coming out for initiative.
Ooh.
Damn it, I didn't beat him.
Don't hit it! I could charm it!
If he doesn't manage to charm it, I'm definitely eating this one.
Oof.
No, you should definitely hit it because we have to bring its head back, and there's no way I can be like, hey, dude, do me a favor.
Nice.
I'm very certain this snake with 2 fangs is not Thousand Teeth.
Yeah.
I
this
mean,
thing looks
it
longer.
depends. A giant constrictor, have you seen the inside of the mouth of like a boa?
I mean, it was.
They have more teeth than a crocodile.
All right,
throw it.
Yumi, you're up first.
God, why does that have to be snakes? I hate snakes. And she's
Thanks,
going to
Thanks, Indy.
engage and run away. In case someone wants to charm it, she's just gonna move away from the snake first and not attack it first.
Oh no, that was Ted saying that. That was not Zashel saying that.
Well, it's too late. I disengaged.
And ran.
Still a smart move.
All right, no bonus actions or anything.
That'll be all for now. I'll wait.
All right, yep.
Yop will. Oops. Yop will run over here, screaming the entire way, Mr. Snake! Hello! Hi, Mr. Snake!
No, not this one.
Alright, and will, when she gets to this location, will spin a little gear on the back of her shield, trying to get the trajectory right. Actually, hold on. Scratch that. She will flip a couple levers and
Whoo!
Start off with a crit.
Jesus.
It's something.
awesome. And it moves 10 feet closer to me. Does that get it into the trap?
It ought
I
to.
don't think it will.
Well, 5.
Is there a.
Because I believe Chain
10.
Whip has a limit on large creatures.
I was
Uh,
saying.
Oh, does it?
It,
Let's
I
see.
think
I think
large
Thorn
might
Whip
be
is
too big.
large.
Large or smaller?
Yeah. It's
That's the end of that.
huge. So
Yep.
yeah.
That's the end of that.
Was it there or was it here?
One there.
That was it. Okay. Okay. Cool. So.
Not that I want that thing in my face. So, you know, if you want to let him pull that, you just.
Anaconda don't. My anaconda.
So next, Yop, you've moved towards the water's edge,
Mhm.
and there is nothing to see at first until it's too late. And there is a shifting that is unnervingly close, and reeds part, water falls away, and a hulking creature makes itself known to you, and its mouth opens and tries to snap around you. We've got 20 to hit.
20 hits.
It's 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then Doug's mad at me again. Then we have another snake.
I'm not mad, Sarah. I'm just disappointed.
Fair. That's fair.
Another snake falls from the trees as well.
Yes.
Closer. Does a 23 hit? Yeah.
23 hits.
All right, you are grappled, and there is a tightening around your shell, and you almost hear a creaking and a groaning. 13 bludgeoning damage. And then we have this snake, who is going to just, do the snake thing. And we have a Sneeple right next to him, so we're gonna throw out the tail and try to lasso Zashel with a 20 to hit.
Nope.
And another like sharp crack as you feel things starting to pop around inside you. 10 bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
And then it's your turn. You are restrained, the both of you.
Oof. Not just grappled. Alrighty.
If you do charm it, he can't attack you, so there's that. But this is a big yike.
Oh, good job, Dasani.
I can do this at will, so
Just trying to work. What?
I would like the one that is grappling
Mm-hmm.
to make a wisdom save versus my craptastical DC 13.
It made a 12. A 12.
Hey, buddy, you should probably just let me go.
All right, you have advantage on your checks to communicate with it. I'll let you try to tell it to let you go now.
It's charmed. It can't attack him.
Yes, but you also have advantage to talk to it. I'm just saying, I'm like, it can't hurt him anymore, and he also could try to talk to it. That's what I'm saying.
Funnily enough, no, I can't. I can't actually speak with animals. I can charm them so that they don't attack me. That's it. That's all I got.
It's a bullshit feature, but you also have advantage on saves against magic effects, so like...
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. And complete immunity to poison.
Yeah, exactly.
Information.
I'm just glad I will not be getting crushed constantly because I had no way to get away from this thing.
Is that it for you then? Bonus actions?
Nothing with my bonus action.
Okay. Grynar.
I am going to look to Zashel, who is currently snake dancing with that one over there. At the very least, it's not crushing him anymore. Kind of goes, okay, I'm gonna go help him out, and he is going to run over and try and just do a leaping sucker punch in this stupid thing's mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
All right. Shame this thing is not larger or smaller because now my features are useless. I'm gonna go ahead and save the rest for right now. I don't know if I can. I guess I'll. No, I can't restrain it. I don't know if it can be knocked prone, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna try and knock it prone.
Okay.
Strength saving for DC 14. I don't know why I don't have it on here. Oh well, I'm stupid.
Is it the trip attack?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has to be the 14. It did not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I
guess
don't know
it's,
if it can be knocked prone.
it
but-
doesn't say
Well-
it's immune to prone, so I guess it can be prone, whatever that ends up
Alright.
meaning.
That's weird.
That is weird, and it takes 7 more damage.
Okay.
Hooray! I'm gonna save my action search for the crocodile for now. That's it for me.
Okay. Dasani, you're up.
Right. Dasani is going to dark skin. Oh, hold on.
There you go. And then go back here.
And then say what you're doing. Turning into a brown bear.
Right.
Oh no, you click and drag. One sec. Yep.
There he is.
Move your character a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I'm just. There you go.
Oh,
No, move on to that. Okay.
now I'm moving.
And then that's all you got.
Oh, hold on. Boosh.
Cool. He's done.
Cool, then.
Okay. It's Thousand's Teeth's turn. Alright, there is a restrained creature very close by. Let's just, yeah, let's, well, nothing else is close enough, so it'll just be one attack. Another snapping bite at Yop. Does a 20 hit?
20 hits.
It's 15 damage, piercing damage.
And Yop's head lolls to the side, and she is unconscious.
Right. You. Everyone else hears like the snapping of what sounds like bone. There is punctures in your shell. And Makaris, you're up.
Oh, that changes. Sorry, let me check one of my spells real quick to see if I can do what I think.
Charmed, go for the others.
Yeah. Fuck, it is a self. Okay. I will move along this side,
Okay.
right there. And then I am going to chaos bolt these people. Two of them, one to the snake and one to the alligator, both surrounding Yop.
Okay. Snake
oh.
first. Is that right?
Sorry, what?
Snake first. Is that right?
Yeah, we'll do snake first.
Okay.
Hey!
Woohoo! Not that that
I
means
need-
anything.
I just need to do it once. Or, I'm sorry, roll for the wild surge
Yes.
once, right? Okay,
Yes.
cool. 23 and
Yep.
26.
Oh,
Yeah, both of those hit.
yeah. Please get a double.
16 for the first
Okay.
one. 14 for the second one. Did not
Okay.
get double on either.
I'm crying. I was
I
really
mean,
hoping,
it's a miracle when it happens once, and it's already happened once. So.
but it would be amazing.
and both of those are going to be, well, one's going to be lightning, one's going to be psychic. But the one to the alligator was lightning.
Okay. All right.
That's my turn.
All right. you see things in the water like fizzle. And Yumi.
Alright, Yumi is going to shoot this one that knocked Yop unconscious.
Okay. That's a hit.
Oh, jeez. And you know what? I will Action Surge and try to hit again.
Okay. That's a hit.
There we go, that's better.
Oh, yeah.
And that is my turn. God,
Yeah,
I
suddenly
hate
that-
so much.
Suddenly that one's not looking so good. Yop, make me a death saving throw.
Oh, I didn't realize
Nice.
Yop was down.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got crunched pretty bad.
Oh.
Yep.
Yank.
With her collapsed, the restraint falls, and then the snake jumps for the next available morsel. Let's go. Yeah, let's do another constriction. Oh, nope, that's gonna miss.
I will riposte.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a hit.
Alrighty.
Whew.
Total
Going.
of 14 damage.
Oh. Okay. You almost knock its jaw off of its face. Alright. And the next snake is just going to drop constriction and then strike out at the bear. With its like 6 teeth it has. With only an 11 to hit. I don't think that hits the bear.
It does not.
Does not.
But he has bark skin on himself, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
I don't
That
even think
big
I don't
16.
think 11 even hits.
No, 11 would hit the
First
bear. That's the bear's AC.
Okay. Zashel, you're up. No longer.
I
restrained.
will start off with a bonus action and drop a healing light onto Yop.
Okay.
Just gonna use one to start. No, I'll use 2 dice. I only have 4, but 7
Ooh.
hit points.
Oh, thank you.
Legendary action. Whoosh.
Awesome.
Anything else for your turn, Zashel?
Yeah, that was just a bonus action.
Right.
As my he's charmed, he won't attack me. I'm just gonna move. I have 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Protect me.
Any full action for you?
I am going to. I know I should probably save this for Cure Wounds, but I am going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement
Mm.
on Thousand Teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to roll Guiding Bolt because I don't have Ray of Enfeeblement as an attack for some reason.
That's fine.
Oh, Jesus Criminy.
I think that hits.
Oh, thank God. No damage. He deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength, and then he can make a con save at the end of each turn to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
But at least one turn of half damage.
Yep.
All right.
And that's it for me.
Grinar.
Okay, I am going to attempt to finish this stupid snake off. I believe that's a hit for 12 more.
Yep, that thing gets its skull crushed under
Yep.
your hands.
Fucking hammer smashes it. And then Grainar is going to maneuver around the trap and get into Thousand Teeth is range, and he's going to action surge, and I'm going to try and restraining strike, assuming this hits. Here we go. Oh, for crying out loud.
All right.
If anybody's got a fucking inspiration, throw them away. Yeah, I'm toast.
Legendary action to bite at the. Let me just decide what he wants to eat. Oh, it's the bear. With a 10 to hit the bear, that's nothing. Dasani, you're up. Oh, Doug, you're muted.
Thank you.
Great. The brown bear is going to bite. I'm sorry, I'm going to claw the snake.
That's a
Ooh.
miss. Unfortunate.
No.
So do the bite now.
Okay, so no, then yeah.
Wait.
Bite.
The snake or the alligator?
Oh, sorry, I'm going to. The alligator.
Okay.
Okay, so click it.
Bite.
Ooh,
Yikes. That's not cool.
you're doing great.
I'm doing great.
It's Thousand's Teeth's turn. Okay. First out of the water, like, cracking like a whip, there's a tail flicking out, and, with a 26 to hit Grynar.
Hit.
Can you make a strength saving throw?
I can.
All right.
Hey,
You are not knocked prone, and you take, the 11 halved 5 bludgeoning damage.
Alrighty.
And then, Vicaris, a 20 to hit as its jaws snap around your legs.
yep.
Alright, 14 piercing damage.
Or after the half.
Oh, not halved, so 7.
Wait, what?
It's 7, not 14.
Oh, thank God.
Yep. Nervation is really good.
And that con save is an 8, so that's it. Vicaris.
1,000 apologies. I am not engaging in hand-to-hand combat. And then I will shocking grasp for 9. Okay.
That's nothing. Cute gif, though, of a child being
thanks.
electrocuted.
And then I'm just gonna step away because that's important for Dasani, my friend, and use Winter Face Step.
Okay.
And so, so the alligator must succeed on a Wisdom saving, while I get the fuck out of here.
It did not save.
Hey, it's afraid of me.
Yep, don't go in the water. Well, I mean, go in the water if you feel like it.
Is this right here in the water?
Well, I mean, technically this is not water, but it's real close to other water.
All right, let's see where else I can go. Well, okay, I know where I'm going. Back this way. All right, done.
Okay. Yumi?
Alright, Yumi is going to shoot Thousand Teeth. I don't think that hits.
It does.
That should hit, because I hit with a
okay.
12.
And then she is going to move back here.
Okay. Right. That it for you?
Yes, that's all.
Alright, Yop.
Okay. Yop is going to trot up here and kick the corpse of that snake as she walks by. And
Did you get your movement? Did you stand up last turn? Or is
oh
this
no,
your
I
first
fell
turn?
out of its mouth. So
Okay.
where was I? Here.
Yeah.
So I can make it to here.
Yeah. Sorry.
And that's all right. That's all right. That's probably better for me. And then at good old Thousand Teeth.
Yeah, dude.
Boo.
Oh.
Good rip.
All right, and it's 10 feet. 1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that it for you?
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Okay, we have the charmed snake who has no problem attacking bears.
Race snake.
Try me, bitch.
15 to hit.
Nope.
Nope.
All right, Zashel.
Just gonna keep circling a little bit. And I will drop a Sacred Flame on Thousand Teeth.
Okay, Dex 5, so takes the 8. Okay. Bonus action?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
I
Grindr.
maintain concentration
Alrighty.
on Ravenfield.
I am trying grapple him one more time.
Alright.
Come on, baby. Yes, a 21 to hit.
Okay, that's a hit.
We're gonna do restraining strike. Do I have a thing for it? Yes. So that's 18.
An 18 to hit?
18 to grapple.
Okay. Okay, it's grappled.
Alrighty, and I am going to drag it back one space into the snare.
Okay.
Oh, it also takes 1d4 damage.
Okay.
So 4 more damage, and then I shove it into the snare.
Alright, and what's happening on snare? Is it just restrained? Is that it? Okay. Dexterity saving throw, magically hoisted into the air, leaving it hanging upside down 5 feet above the ground or the floor, restrained until the spell ends. Wow, cool.
It's disadvantage because he is currently restrained. So much restraint, so little time.
Okay. So, legendary action to snap out at the thing that's holding him. 20 to hit.
That's a hit.
And halved damage makes it 6.
Alrighty. I'm fine.
Okay. And is that it for your turn?
That is it. Yeah, I use my bonus action. Yep, I'm done.
Okay. Dasani, you're up.
All right. I am going to. Oh.
This thing is dangling in the air, hissing and snapping and pulling, trying to get free.
Jump up and claw him.
The Thousand
Snake.
Teeth of the
Snake, sorry.
Snake.
Snake.
snake. Sounds good.
I know, I want to see the board.
No.
Oh no! It's a miss.
You go to bite.
Okay.
You can do it.
Come on, come on, come on. I don't know why I keep moving.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my lord.
Oh,
Tell you, bro, you need this advantage.
You are doing great.
you can do it. I believe in you. Wait, bonus action for your turn? Did you want to do anything?
No. No, I'm good.
Okay. We're just gonna try to attack again. I'm gonna say that how it would like in my head how it would be restrained. No. Here we go. An 11 to hit with the teeth to Grynar.
We'll go ahead and riposte one more time.
Okay.
Smack
Okay, that's a hit.
for. Sorry, actually, that's incorrect. Apologies.
It's just the 12.
No. It should be a D6 instead of a D8.
Oh, okay.
So it should be 12 plus another d4.
It is 12
So
plus
16.
a d4.
60.
Okay.
Because it's grappled, I do an extra d4 to anything I have grappled.
Right, but you said it's a d6, which was the 7 when you re-rolled it.
Yes. Okay,
Instead
so
of the 12.
whenever if I have both hands free, it's a d8. But since I'm grappling him with one arm, it goes down to a d6.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're talking.
Normally, when I
got it.
use riposte, it's not against something that I have grappled, and I forgot to use the other thing.
All right, and its tail is still long enough to reach out to Yop, who's pretty far away. Even at disadvantage. Let's see, we got a 16 to hit.
16 does not hit.
All right, excellent. Vakaris, you're up.
Ooh.
Oh wait, hold on. Dex. Mm-hmm.
He also can make a con save to end
Yep.
the.
Neither of those. All right, now it's Vakaris' turn.
Hell yeah. Let's just hit him with some fire. Let's do chill touch. I've never done that. 10.
Yeah, that's not gonna hit.
Killing it on these cantrips today.
No, you're actually not killing it.
That doesn't mean a lot coming from you.
Oh! Ow!
I have done shitloads of damage this round. Leave me alone.
Oh, hey, welcome to fights.
Oh my god!
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just drag it back over to Doug.
when we re-listen to this, guys,
Sling it
just
back.
a moment that nobody asked him anything and he said something. So
Yumi, you're up.
All right.
The fuck is that gift?
Going for 1,000 teeth again.
Okay. That's a hit. Okay.
Come up, Yumi.
What do you mean come up? I'm saying
I
back
said-
here.
I said fuck him up.
Oh, that's
him
all
up.
I have. That's all I have.
Get him, Yumi, get him.
It's a good
Already-
hit though.
Shoot him. Shoot
Already
him.
action surge. I can't do it again. That's all I have.
Shoot him.
Your turn up then?
Yes, that's all I have.
Okay. Yop.
All right, Yop is going to try and roast her some crocodile.
Okay.
Roast that bitch.
That's a miss.
That's a hit.
Oh, yep, it's
It's
restrained.
restrained.
Yep.
Restrained is awesome.
Right. There's so few
Oh, wait.
things that let you restrain. It's very exciting.
And
but you get advantage if they're restrained.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, where was? Thanks for that, Grindar.
Oh,
I forgot that.
I wasn't even looking at the screen when it
No,
rolled.
no, I blame Grindar. Sarah, you're good.
No, it's
so Yop is going to back up.
Doug, I'll let you roll the advantage because
Hell yeah.
it's not like much has happened since then. So
22.
Oh. That's a hit. There you go.
5, and it can't heal.
All right.
perfect.
Oh damn.
Oh no! Here I was about to give it a health potion.
Anyway, legendary action. Throwing its head around again to try to catch Grynar in its maw. Got disadvantage of 10 to hit.
Hit a Ghost Rider.
Okay, and Constrictor Snake. Let's fight the bear. Let's keep watching these two dance around each other. 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
Yeah, these two are locked in a non-lethal combat.
I'm imagining.
It's happening, period.
I imagine them just rolling around on the ground around each other.
We're just
like,
playing.
Yeah, they're playing.
It's the most beautiful dance fight Yop has ever witnessed.
There's tears in everybody's eyes.
Here's what I see is like, you know, when those kids like they circle their arms and they just walk towards you, and if you get hit, it's your fault, not theirs.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I imagine right now from the bear.
From the bear, the snake is. Anyway, it's Ashel's turn.
Zashel is gonna just Sacred Flame it again.
Okay.
13 dexterity.
10, so 4 damage. Alright, this thing is looking terribly unhappy, and a lot of its scales are being singed off of it. Anything else for your turn?
I'm going to continue to hide behind Yumi.
Okay. Grynar.
Alrighty, that all sprung up still. I'm gonna try and punch it in the face some more. Just die.
That's it.
Just landing heavy blow after heavy blow just on the top of its skull.
All right. If that's the case, it's Skull Caves.
Hey.
Nice. I keep forgetting to put my thing on. Oh. Yeah. As Grindr just and then with a final heavy slam, caves in the top of its skull, and it stops moving, and he just leaves it there to hang from the tree.
All right, and there's like the sound of like it's gurgling, hissing, kind of like fading out in its throat as blood starts to come out of its jaw. Dasani, you're up. Natural 20, you can do it.
Right. In his head, he's thinking he's so badass right now, but he's a damn thing. But he looks cool doing it, so that's.
Grindr turns around like, oh, that.
Dasani is going to claw at the snake. Come on!
Hey!
Oh, yeah.
Attack! Boo!
Jesus.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
yes!
max damage.
Nice, yes. That
Oh,
takes
yeah.
a chunk out of him immediately.
Yes.
You
And then
still
he
have your other
realizes he's
attack?
actually doing something fucking cool. He's gonna bite.
Yes!
Hey!
Yes!
Boo!
Oh my gosh.
Yas.
Grindr turns around to see immediately this snake mauled half to death by the bear in an instant.
Grindr gives him a thumbs up. Great job, Sonny.
Cars.
Yes, love it.
That's Sonic! And Bear, if you didn't already know.
I in my head I see nothing, but he's just constantly throwing up the peace sign. It's just
Or that bear that just sits up and he's like waving at you.
Yeah.
yeah,
I did it!
yeah, dude.
I got it!
Vakaris, you're up.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. When you said mauled, I
I'm
thought
the
dead.
problem.
I was like, okay, cool, yay.
She said like in pieces. It grows a second head.
Ray of Frost, switching it up today.
Yes.
Yes!
Ooh, 8 damage.
All right.
I care with your fucking games.
You are not muted.
Like, I love this
Yumi,
one.
your turn.
Shooting the snake.
Uh-huh.
I will move slightly over here.
Still falls.
It's a cantrip.
13 is a hit.
Okay.
All right.
Did you hear what we said, Sarah?
I did.
My mic is too sensitive.
This snake who has previously been having just a dandy time is suddenly looking like hell. Yup, you're up.
Yop will take sort of a meandering route so that she can kick the snake and elbow the crocodile, and then
Like she.
spin the little gear on the back of her shield and shoot out a firebolt.
Yeah. All right.
That's how things go for Yop sometimes.
Okay. Giant snake is gonna turn
Slither
attention.
away, snake. Slither away.
It's gonna try to grab a snack on its way out. Grynar, 16 to hit.
So nope, Grindr is just standing there with both his hands on his hips as the bear is going to town, and he just steps back as the snake goes for him.
Okay. And Zashel.
Well, I tried to tell you you should go, but it's even in range.
60 feet? Yeah.
I tried to tell you should leave. Now go. Go, 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 go.
It super failed that save, so that blasts its head wide open and it explodes. That thing's dead. Yay! You guys did it!
Nice.
Woo! I was
Nice.
I was not sure there for a minute when the two snakes came down. I was like, oh, this could
Yeah.
be really, really, really bad. Griner watches the bear maul it and all of this fire and hail come down and evaporate the snake. And just nods, looks around and says, "Good job, everyone!" And flips up his visor, and then heads over to Yop. And it's like, how you feeling, Yop? That didn't look very comfortable.
I've had better days.
You need to get patched up, Annoying?
The back of her shell, where there's how it is, how it bends, along the spinal seam, there is a crack that has been more or less sealed by magic, but it's still there's a defined mark now, in a split and almost a full, cool new battle scar.
He whistles and says, "Now that's impressive. That's a very good battle scar."
It doesn't feel very impressive. I'm gonna see if I can do something about that.
I can heal you, yeah. We should stay away from the water for just in case. And I will burn my last spell slot.
Griner gives a laugh and says, "Don't worry, to make a great story later," and offers her a drink from his flask.
Oh, no.
It's the 16. I don't know why it keeps adding dice.
All right, Yop is back up.
No, I feel much better. Thank you, Zazu.
And under your apron as well, there would be a mark as well in the underbelly that is sealed up much nicer than your back.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
And Yop will take out her mace and just start beating the corpse of the
Of which thing?
of the snake that
Okay.
grappled her and knocked her out.
Okay.
Does somebody have a blade to remove that thing's head?
I have a axe, but it's not very large. It's gonna take me a minute. I don't suppose anyone has a larger axe? Greatsword, maybe?
Right.
Clearly sarcastic.
Maybe
I know that Yop had 7 hit points. I know that
Right.
because she went to 0 and I gave her exactly 7 hit points.
No, it's
I
fine.
wanna do
I'm
that,
just
but
I'm
I'm
think- I think
literally-
it's fine.
I'm literally always the last one to be healed, so nothing new.
It's because Vicaris is a douchebag.
Yes. What? When? Look, we talked
If I could heal, I would heal you, but I'm not a healer, so.
Thanks, you and me.
The only other heal I have is the one that comes back on a long rest. So.
Griner looks over to Vicaris and is like, Do you need bandaging?
No.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of my point. You would literally never accept bandaging. So,
That's literally the first time you've offered it.
so what you're saying is I'm 1 for 1.
Sure.
as Yop continues to turn this snake into pulp, she'll look over her shoulder, having heard the exchange between Griner and Vicaris, and yell out,
Vicaris, are you not feeling well?
I am fine for now. Should
Well,
we?
if you're not feeling well, come over here and I'll make you feel better.
I think the less time we take here, the less likely we will be attacked again. So I would rather leave.
Okay. Do we need the head of this crocodile thing?
I think we do.
Yeah, I can take care of it.
Perhaps-
It'll take me a minute.
Well, perhaps it would be easy work for Dasani in his current form.
Bite its head off.
I didn't quite think it would be very efficient at that.
He also has claws, but
Maybe he can drag the whole body back to the lizard folk and they can help us
It'll
decapitate.
take me like a minute or two to decapitate it.
I mean, there's a couple just waiting outside that didn't want to follow us in here.
Do we need to take the full head? Can we take an eye or a tooth?
he
let's-
told us to bring
Let's take the head and come back, triumphant heroes with the head of the bad guy.
I mean, whichever is more efficient.
Going for wow factor right now. Grino just gets the chopping.
Gets to chopping with what?
An axe.
Oh, okay. All right.
My hardened fist, the very best melee weapon.
Okay.
Is it worth trying to check the water, check its lair? Nope, sounds good. Okay, cool.
I mean, it might be, but I'm not going to swim in that. And Yumi makes a face of disgust.
I don't think you have enough money to pay me to do that.
You could send paralegal.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's true.
He did get summoned before all this went down.
Yeah, and it's not a concentration spell, so I didn't have to give him up to keep Raven Fieldman up. Paralegal, go look around down there, see if you can find anything valuable.
You all see the water move as if there is somebody stepping into it, and then sinking all the way down, and completely submerged. He returns with a half-rotted corpse of a lizard folk. It is mostly devoured. Parts of it are very much not so. Many of the bones are shattered, and it's disgusting.
I don't know
Well,
if it's quite
maybe-
valuable. Maybe they'd
Want
want
him
it back
for-
for
I
funeral
don't know
round.
what their burial rights are, but sure, he can say
Yeah.
that.
It's my same thinking to be valuable as far as funeral rights go. Well, I don't know.
Ooh, that's gross. As Yop turns the snake into soup.
That's not how you turn a snake
What?
into soup, yeah.
Keep eating snakes.
No, she's bashing its head in. I'm the one who's about to cook up this other snake, assuming I get permission from the other snake.
We should call to our escort and let them know that the deed is done.
Agreed.
Okay. You have the head of Thousand Teeth. You have a corpse of a lizard folk. Do you want to bring that with you or no?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'll tell paralegal to follow me with it. I guess we could ask do you want the body of your tribeman? Do you want us to bring that back for burial or something? I don't know what your rights are here.
Kepesk takes the head of it, which is kind of loose, and you just take with a firm yank, just pulls it free from the rest of the body, and says, "Sufficient," and begins leading you back towards the caverns.
Coolsies.
I knew it was gonna happen, but I had to commit to the bit.
Okay. That's it for the session.